physical anomaly first, no myth yet. Mount Shasta doesn't behave like a mountain. Its shadow falls wrong. At sunrise, it stretches across the land in a sharp triangle, clean and geometric, like a signal carved into the sky. Pilots report instruments drifting as they pass overhead. Compass needles hesitate. GPS systems stutter, then correct themselves, as if something briefly interrupts the signal. Hikers disappear here, not every year, not every season, just often enough to be noticed. Snowfields remain untouched beside footprints that simply stop. No sign of struggle, no avalanche debris, no body. Geologists say the mountain is dormant, but heat sensors pick up irregular warmth beneath the rock. Not magma movement, something more localized, contained. In 1974, climbers reported a low-frequency hum beneath their boots. Not audible, felt. A vibration traveling through bone. The mountain stands alone in Northern California. No nearby peaks, no natural reason to dominate the horizon the way it does. And yet, every road seems to bend toward it. Every story ends here. Mount Shasta doesn't announce itself. It waits. The official story. Then, the cracks. Officially, Mount Shasta is a stratovolcano, built layer by layer over hundreds of thousands of years. Ice, lava, ash, silence. That's the textbook version. But long before surveys and satellites, the mountain already had a name. Several names. The Wintu called it a living presence. Not a god, not a symbol, a place that watched. Early settlers avoided its upper slopes. They described sudden fog banks forming without weather change, time distortion, hours lost between landmarks less than a mile apart. In the late 1800s, newspapers carried strange accounts. Tall figures in pale robes seen moving between tree lines at dusk, not running, not hiding, walking openly, unconcerned. By the 1930s, Mount Shasta gained a reputation as a spiritual refuge. Groups arrived claiming the mountain concealed survivors of a lost civilization, Lemuria, an advanced society said to predate known history. Authorities dismissed it as fantasy, harmless belief, but something odd followed. During World War II, the U.S. military quietly restricted certain air routes near the summit. No official reason given. Pilots were simply told to divert. In the Cold War era, seismic equipment placed miles away registered micro-tremors that didn't match tectonic patterns. Too precise, too rhythmic. The mountain stayed quiet, but interest around it didn't. Not from mystics, from scientists. Forensic details, measured, uncomfortable. Modern LiDAR scans of Mount Shasta reveal voids inside the mountain. Large ones, not lava tubes, not erosion chambers. Their geometry is wrong. Smooth internal surfaces where rough volcanic rock should be. Angles approaching 90 degrees, repeating patterns. Geophysicists debate the data. Some call it equipment artifact. Others point out something troubling. Multiple scans, different years, different instruments, same voids. In 2002, infrared flyovers detected heat signatures deep beneath the summit. Stable, consistent, too controlled to be residual magma. Electromagnetic surveys show localized interference zones. Signals bend, weaken, sometimes reflect. This matters because similar readings appear at underground military facilities and deep earth research labs. Then there are the missing persons. Search and rescue reports describe anomalies. Dogs lose scent abruptly. Radio contact drops in narrow corridors with clear line of sight. Experienced climbers report vertigo without altitude sickness. In one documented case, a hiker reappeared after 6 days. He believed only hours had passed. No dehydration, no hypothermia. His watch had stopped at 3:17 p.m. Psychologists labeled it dissociation. Physicists were less certain. The mountain sits near a convergence of fault lines, stress zones capable of producing piezoelectric effects, natural electromagnetic fields. Under the right conditions, these fields could affect perception, memory, time estimation. But that explanation fails one test: the structure. Because natural geology doesn't create symmetrical internal chambers. It collapses, it fractures, it doesn't organize. And Mount Shasta's interior appears organized. No answers, just pressure. So what is Mount Shasta? A dormant volcano with unusual geology? That is true. A place where electromagnetic anomalies distort human perception. That is plausible. A mountain hollowed by intelligent design. That is unresolved. No excavation has ever reached the deepest voids, not because of belief, because of instability. Because every attempt ends early, funding dries up, permits stall, equipment malfunctions. The mountain resists intrusion quietly. There is no proof of hidden civilizations, no confirmed underground cities, no beings emerging from the snow. Just data that doesn't sit comfortably. Patterns that refuse to flatten into coincidence. A landmark that behaves less like terrain and more like infrastructure. Mount Shasta remains open to tourists. Hikers take photos. Snow melts and returns. But beneath the ice, the readings continue. The voids remain. The signals persist. And the mountain keeps its shape. Not eroded by time. Not softened by explanation. Standing. Waiting. The question is no longer whether Mount Shasta hides something. The question is why, after everything we've measured, we still can't say what it is.